All right, so I was like, I'm just trying to bring some awareness to a big mistake I think that we're making here in America. Because I got it, I've been in like a matrix that it seems like schizophrenia, but it's not. And it's like has to do a lot with gang stalking. Here's the problem: is that there is North Carolina, the North Carolina Oath Keepers. It has a node. It's called 580 node, and it's on mapping militant projects. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they got that node through going to CalGang in California, and CalGang has a CalGang audit form PDF, and on that CalGang audit form is the only place that you can that I know of that you can get a node that is a extremist node for it's like for gangs and stuff like that. But I think that the North Carolina Oath Keepers, they got the 580 node, and then they were manufacturing and patenting the 580 node charm, which is pieces to like a supercomputer, and so it's like they bought real estate within this massive AI computer for artificial intelligence and militant satellites that went outside the U.S. but within the U.S. And it operates through Emerson. But if you don't, and then Emerson Collective is a satellite, and they're doing like research for like on immigration. Basically, like if they wanted to kill a bunch of Migos, like they would just be like, well, it's just research, you know. But because they gave Temple of Blood. I'm not saying that North Carolina Oath Keepers is responsible for any of this, but I know that on North Carolina Oath Keepers on the Mapping Militant Projects, the site itself lists that during their riot attack, if you really pay attention, that they were responsible for killing two police by suicide, and that would only be by psychotronic harassment. Which, if you don't believe in psychotronic harassment, you can go to psychotronicscia.gov. But and if you don't, and if the 580 node charm is Avantech, which goes into a Emerson hard computer for its AI. Look, it says right here. It says AI Emerson Collective is a organization that works on social justice issues, including immigration reform. CalGang is a database that contains information about gangs in California. Some research has examined the relationships between CalGang and immigration. So, when you are allowing a Confederate army to rise up and have militant satellites to do operations with on U.S. citizens, why do you need a militant satellite to attack U.S. citizens? I mean, the government is pretty responsible with like doing that by itself, you know. So you know they're pretty fair with the people, and I don't think that an extremist group would, let alone next door Temple of Blood, because Temple of Blood is um, possibly using this system um, with a large scale of mapping militant projects. Everyone you have to realize every one of those mapping militant projects, a lot of them don't have a node, but some of them they have a node, and that might be a piece of computer equipment or it might be an admin. And normally, they say when you look up these mapping militant project groups, these extremist groups, they always say admin, and they have an admin into I assume this Emerson hard computer. But look, but Martinet Press endorsement committed cultists from the Hyper Center. This is Temple of Blood, and it's right next door. It owns South Carolina, apparently on nodes. From the Hyper Center, that place where the rivers roiled and flesh melted, and the skeletal finger of the commanded extended sheathed and gleaming black, indicating with sickly intent and a mass sacrifice the coordinates and the properties which would be made anew in her image, conditions which could be made extraordinary. The scorched earth itself served as a sacrificial abattoir, and the foothills, black figures swarmed across the land, and a mobilization to which no counter mobilization was possible. Project Bluebird. All right, now this is weird because Temple of Blood, I believe, has already taken over our prison system. And they have, if that's true, especially within South Carolina, nobody understands this. These guys have militant satellites over the prison system. So that means that like they have the ability, and you have to realize North Korea has a very strict country, like where they're like drones, you know, like so they have voice to skull through connection to the pineal gland. So whenever this like new form of schizophrenia comes out and like gang stalking and stuff like that, I think they're doing it with this system. And this system is for like you see it killed four metropolitan police officers. Um, it says they killed themselves because of this psychological harassment, and then but then they said well it was because of their wounds, so they they're anyways, that's dumb. But this this Martinet press is pretty pretty much the same thing. Like they can rig into prison systems and they can make a gigantic extremist army with every single group to map your militant projects. And I'm not crazy, so I'm just trying to bring awareness to it. Um, and because this is not a good thing, because this is essentially the beginning of an imperium, which is what David Myatt was trying to start. But how sophisticated it got, this goes all the way back to mapping militant projects, which gives access to the collective Emerson collective data, which is satellites and militant satellites at that, to go into CalGang, to go into an audit form that gives permission to run extremist group militant operations within America and around the world. Um, but yeah, just if you've got any more information on this, or if you know what to do with this information, to pass it to the next person to bring awareness that counts, please do. Thank you.